I gotcha.
I give you Troy Hazard, troyhazard.com. What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Hey, mate, how you doing? I'm good.
I have to ask you, it's funny because Amaze, the company Amaze, AMZE, has approached our Loft 100 Studios about partnering into where they got 17.5 million content creators and they need studio space. And they want to joint venture with us to create a franchise model or an Airbnb model across the country for studios that are existing to get in, and that we get a chunk of each thing. And I know that you are somewhat of an expert on buying franchises. You're on the board of directors of you're a co-founder, owner, board of directors of a sort of a big franchise pool cleaning operation for a long time. You have worked 35 years in that sector. Talk to us everything we need to know about that because I think it's plus and asking for a friend, right? What makes a franchise so great? Because I saw you nodding your head there immediately like it's a good idea. So tell me why.
Well, it is a good idea. If you're looking to get into business, it's described as being in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And that's the key with franchising. It comes with a system, it comes with a brand, it comes with training, it comes with the support you need as a small business owner to get through those first early years because they're the toughest. And we know that over half of small businesses find themselves in some sort of financial trouble in the first 5 years. Franchising helps that. It gives you stuff that supports you through the tough times, through the early times until you get some momentum.
And I know that you have personally, over the last 3 decades, I think, worked with about 300 to 400 franchise companies. What makes it good and what makes it bad? Because obviously there's people that have great relationships, which is why you're seeing Subways and I'm using this as an example for the probably low-hanging fruit franchise stuff. But there's also folks that would swear against it. But I think there's an argument that you said that 90% of the time it's a good deal. But what makes it a good deal?
Well, it's a good question because lots of times people looking for franchises will start with the brand or the marketing support or all the consumer-facing stuff. But the reality is when you go looking for a franchise system, look at the leadership, look at the founder, the visionary, the guy or girl that had that view of the future that you want to be part of because if they don't know where they're going, they certainly can't take you. So first and foremost, who's driving this business into the future and who can carry you with that direction? Because without that, the rest of the stuff is kind of like fundamental. I mean, every system is going to have marketing and brand and support and training and stuff. But if you've not got a visionary at the front of that brand, it makes it a little bit more challenging to get further down the road faster.
Troy, you look at an entity here in the United States like In-N-Out Burger. I mean, they're everywhere. And I forget what her name is, but she is it. They do not franchise. She owns all of the In-N-Out Burgers. Is that just a case where she probably, because of her parents having it, she had the vision, she had the wherewithal, and she knew, I ain't going to try to fix something that's not broke?
Well, it's a little bit different. Company-owned versus franchise are two different support mechanisms. In franchising, we're in the people business.
Sure.
The fact that we sell tires or burgers or donuts is irrelevant, really. But as a franchisor, my job is to make those franchisees feel supported, feel loved, and give them direction to make sure they're successful in their business for them and their family. In a corporate environment, you're still in that business. You're still flipping burgers or you're improving that system. You're a bit more frontline with the consumer, where the franchising model really is about people. And so as you go through this opportunity matrix to try and work out which franchise you want to be a part of, the next piece is the people that are supporting you. Are they your people? Are they your tribe? And can you really relate to them? Because they're going to be the people you spend day in, day out with.
You know, what's interesting is that if you're looking to get into business, this is sort of a way to where all of the infrastructure's in place. You pay a fee. You pay a franchise fee to get the plans, and so on and so forth. And then and I believe you pay part of your percentage of your earnings for a certain period of time as a monthly franchise operation. But you get all the ad mats, you get all the commercials, you get all of the if it's that type of thing. Take a look at McDonald's, for example. McDonald's has several company-owned stores, then they have franchise stores.
And they have a combination of both.
Yes, and keep in mind, if you were to have, and by the way, I think it takes a couple $1 million of net worth to own a McDonald's because I think the franchise fee is about $250K. Plus, you have to build the building using their specs, but it's an automatic home run. I mean, once you build a McDonald's and have that, it's an automatic. It's a cash register, right? Troy, isn't that the idea? And they don't have to be that big either. There's some big and small ones.
Yeah, well, it does. And McDonald's is also an interesting example because they're in the real estate business.
Yeah, no, they are.
They're-
Absolutely.
Exactly. So they're there to support their franchisees, of course, but they're about building stores and then leasing those stores back to franchisees. And that's a model within a model for that business. Not a lot of franchisors head down that path, but it's an interesting difference in the way that the franchise system is structured. But for most franchises, yes, they take an initial franchise fee. They ask for a monthly royalty fee to use and access the system. And they also ask for a marketing fee to help make sure the brand's getting out there to the consumer. And these things are offset in part by the support you get and the value you can add to those little businesses to make it worthwhile investing in the franchise, investing in royalties, investing in the marketing fund.
Hey, Troy, if someone wants to start down this road, where do they even start? What's the beginning step?
Well, the first place to start is with your family, because when we are looking for potential franchisees, the first thing we ask is, well, is your spouse, is your partner going to be part of the business? And if the answer is no, we still ask to meet them, to spend time with them, and to get them to really understand what the system's all about. Because at the end of the day, they're married to that franchisee who is married to the brand. So we want to make sure that they're bought for that ride, because they will have a part in that business, whether they work in it or not, because the franchisee is going to take that home every night. And we want to make sure that they're comfortable about that. And then, of course, when we've got them aligned with what that journey looks like, the easy part then is to go to market and go to expos and go to the International Franchise Association website and look for the opportunities and start creating a shortlist for yourself.
Troy Hazard, troyhazard.com, one of our favorite guests. And you know, the spouse is going to be the one that's always getting the call at 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, the ice cream machine at McDonald's is broken again.